Hi, my name is Sundar Krish, and I'm the founder and CEO of this startup called Waygum. Waygum is at the intersection of mobile and industrial IoT. You see, we've started using mobile for everything in our lives, but mobile hasn't touched manufacturing just yet. And we're just about to change that. Our mission is to revolutionize manufacturing using mobile. And we do that by providing a mobile app for manufacturing IoT. A bit about our startup. We raised about $2 million venture funding from a couple of corporations, Johnson Controls and Munich Re. We've got several awards, and we've also been featured on the CB Insights IoT map. So think of a huge process manufacturing plant. It could be an iron and steel plant, a chemical plant. These plants operate at scale, and so they have a good level of industrial automation, but it's pretty much limited to 2 people in a control room. What if we expose this to the 300 workers in the factory? Not just expose it, but also empower them in ways never thought before. What if we literally crowdsource industrial automation? Why now? Obviously, the industrial IoT trend, but what we have seen is that manufacturers have begun to allow smartphones in the factory, specifically in the last couple of years, and that's the trend that we are latching on to even more. And we do this by providing a mobile app for manufacturing. So this is an app that could be used by anybody on the factory floor, plant managers, engineers, head of maintenance, and so on. And this app provides everything that they need on a day-to-day basis, all folded nicely into one mobile app. So it gives out features like remote mobile monitoring. So if there is a situation like a boiler overheating, instead of this control room guy calling everybody around, the right person gets a notification. He clicks on the notification. He pretty much understands what's happening, right? So this in itself saves about 15, 20 minutes in an incident. Understanding things is great, but you need to fix it, right? And the way things get fixed in manufacturing is by going through steps or workflows, but they happen very manually. What we do is basically we sort of digitize these workflows. So a plant manager can select the engineers, and he can assign them different tasks like inspection, materials ordering, and so on. But we have gone one step beyond workflows. We also observe these workflows and learn from them and make suggestions. So for example, if an incident like boiler overheating reoccurs, the app prompts these suggestive or prescriptive steps. We call this worker-machine interaction intelligence. We have a broad claim patent on this, and this also makes us unique and defensible. And we have other functionalities like collaboration, KPIs, and so on. To sum it up, we provide monitoring, we provide intelligent workflows, and we provide collaboration for manufacturing in a mobile app. So in terms of benefits, obviously it improves productivity and minimizes downtime. An example from our iron and steel customer, it saves them about $3 million just in a month per plant. Switching back to our company, our marketing has been working very well. In fact, if you search for industrial IoT mobile on Google, we are the very first link. And so we've been going directly to customers, and we have a list of really big name customers out there. We are on track to about 100K MRR in 1 year. We sell on a SaaS-based pricing, anywhere between 3K to 10K per month per plant. In terms of TAM, there are about 50 process manufacturing verticals out there, each of them with a bottom of TAM of about $50 million. So our overall bottom of TAM is a whopping $2.5 billion. In terms of competition, on the monitoring side, you have these older industrial automation guys like Rockwell, Siemens, but they're all tied to the desktop, right? On the other side, on the workflow side, you have these work order type solutions, but they don't have any IoT. We are actually the only application that's able to provide a well-integrated mobile experience of both monitoring and workflows. And on top of that, we use AI to learn from past workflows as well. We have a great team, a good combination of both Silicon Valley tech and industrial automation. I've worked for about 20 years in different Silicon Valley companies. We are raising $2 million right now. The plan is to raise another $8 million once we reach our target of 100K MRR in about a year. We are also getting some acquisition offers from a few big companies. All of these companies have some sort of industrial IoT platform, and they think that we could be that killer application to get traction on that platform. So if you like us, come talk to us or check us out at waygum.io. Thank you, and have a nice day.
Thanks a lot for that. I guess my question would be around actually integrating in with the industrial data. So, it's one thing to get the notifications, the other thing to tie all those pieces together. How have you approached that? Is that bespoke by customer, or do you have a data platform underneath this that manages that?
So we have a data platform underneath that, right? So apart from the mobile app, there's also cloud backend for administration, and we also have an edge component which sort of does basically all the things that you talked about. It integrates with their machine data systems like Rockwell systems and so on, right, to pull all the machine data. And again, all of these systems are already existing. We're not asking them to put any extra sensors or any extra hardware, right? And it also integrates with their ERP system, SAP and all that to make ordering materials and all these other workflows, off them, right? So most of that is done by integration and configuration. There's really no customization. In fact, I think we're probably the first manufacturing app to actually, break this, SaaS for manufacturing. Every other manufacturing solution out there or application out there, they need customization. We are the only app, that can get up and running in like as little as 2 weeks without any customization, all configuration, right? So pure SaaS module. Thank you.
How does this market work today? Do you buy the monitoring applications run on the laptop from the same guys that sell you the sensors? Or?
How does it run today?
Yeah.
So basically, as I said, right now everything is just limited to a control room, right? So think of a huge manufacturer.
No, but I'm thinking commercially. Who sells those control rooms? Are these the same guys that sell the sensors, or not? The Siemens, the Schneider Electric that you showed there. Are these the guys that sell the sensor and the monitoring platform?
So no, the different guys sell different things, right? So, but again, all this infrastructure is already existing, right? So Siemens and Schneider, they sell the software for monitoring, right? There are sensor players, that sell the sensors and all that. But all this already exists for some of these process manufacturing industries, right? So we're not talking about industries where this doesn't exist. So these places, they manufacture at scale. So iron and steel, for example, they manufacture 20K worth of steel per minute, right? So in the past 20 years, they've been putting all the sensors and all this software, right? The only problem is everything is tied to a desktop, and in a control room where only 2 people access it, we are making that accessible to like 300 people, right? So that's the difference that we are bringing in. And again, we are targeting only markets where this infrastructure is already there. We're not going to other markets where this infrastructure is not there, right? Like there are a lot of discrete manufacturing. Some plants are just very small, right? They don't have that infrastructure. We don't target those plants. Thank you. Yeah.
So I think I totally get the pain point that you're trying to solve in the industrial, and manufacturing is kind of one part of industrial, right? And I also totally get the usability that you're enhancing by deploying the app on mobile, because that's what the workforce is using. Maybe help me understand a little bit more on this journey. When did you start applying AI? And you started the journey with being mobile first, and AI is a means to an end for you, because you're actually trying to solve some use cases. So help me maybe understand the impact of what specific use cases you've seen the value being 10x, 20x delivered better than maybe what could be done by anybody else.
Sure, that's a good question. So we didn't start out with AI, right? So initially, we were sort of helping them orchestrate these complex manufacturing workflows, right? So let's take an iron and steel industry, a blast furnace, right? A blast furnace gets down, right? They orchestrate like the workflow to actually fix it, through our app, right? So this sort of, gave our app the actual ability to sort of observe these workflows, right? Again, this sort of, we call this interaction data, like how people respond to those situations. This sort of data never existed before because, people were using offline desktop-based systems, right? And so they didn't really have systems that kind of recorded all these things as it goes along, right? So we had this unique ability to sort of, record these workflows as they happen. And we thought, okay, what if we put this data to better use, right? So the next time, same blast furnace, breaks down, right? Now the app can say, look at the past workflows and say, hey, you know what, this is what you guys did last time. Do you want to do this time, right? So we call this prescriptive maintenance, right? I mean, as you know, predictive is sort of, very hot in the industrial IoT market, but prescriptive is one step beyond that. Don't just tell me what's broken, but also tell me how to fix it, right? And this just helps them, not just because, it sort of, improves the overall efficiency of how they repair things, right? I mean, there are other things, like, for example, let's say in the last time they did this workflow, it took like 2 days to order some materials and get it, right? And that was a choke point. The app automatically says, you know what, hey, that was a choke point last time. Do you want to order it, pre-order it this time, right? It could identify, who are the best experts for a particular task, right? Just based on who did what, right, before, right? And again, these sort of sort of like information doesn't exist before, and we're able to do that just by observing, just the workflow in progress, right? We have about 10 different use cases, that we are putting, removing like false positive alerts, for example, just by observing how people respond to alerts, right?